feel about receiving this honorary doctorate?
I felt really and truly that I went up there to receive it on behalf of the Williams Industries team that put me in a position to be able to receive it. Because if it wasn't for all the people who surround me and do a lot of the work that needs to be done, I would never have been considered for that.
So you're saying it's a team effort?
Absolutely.
Team effort.
Absolutely.
You ever thought that you would have received any of these awards?
Never, never, never. Not in my wildest dreams. When they called and told me they wanted to give me an honorary doctorate, I really thought somebody was putting a practical joke on me. So I went and asked my wife what she thought I should do. And she said, well, if receiving that award would mean that you wouldn't be able to be up in the country with your friends on a Saturday at Lemon Arbor and Country View and so on, drinking and eating, putting the Souse and so on, that is a good thing. You gotta receive it.
Okay. What it means though to you? What to you personally? What it means to you?
What does it mean? It just means that the selection committee at the University of West Indies has decided to recognize the work that we have done, and they considered it worthwhile. So who am I to argue with learned people? If they think that I deserve it, fine, I'll accept it, but understand that it wasn't me that created all of what they've been judging. Mm-hmm. It is the team at Williams Industries.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And do you think that this would help you in your business, you think?
I suppose it would give you a little bit of prestige, yeah. But I have always been a very firm believer in judging people, companies, anything, by the results achieved, the performance, not academic qualifications. So when somebody comes and tells me that there's doctor this or doctor that, I say, let me see what you can do. When I am satisfied that you can do, then I will tip my hat to you and give you the greatest respect. But until you can prove that you can actually perform and do the work, because a lot of the senior people at Williams Industries have absolutely no academic qualifications, but they can run circles around some people that come in here with doctorates, So academic qualifications are very nice, but I know some of my friends got academic qualifications that they need two lines on the page to put them all down. Mm-hmm. But if they found jobs for anybody in Barbados, it's probably the maid in their house. But they don't stick their neck out to go and take risks and so on like we do. So academic qualifications are nice, mm-hmm. but they're nice to be used in an address, mm-hmm. when somebody's introducing it. Yeah. But what you actually say during the address is what really matters.
What would you say is the key to what you've achieved so far?
Well, the key is very simple. Surrounding myself with intelligent people, with common sense, who can make things happen, and bring and argue very often against some things that I want to do. Because no man has monopoly on brains. And very often I may come up with an idea, run it by some of our people, and they'll say, no, that's a crazy idea. On occasion I've gone against them, and it's been very successful. On other occasions it's been a disaster. Like Red Jet, for example. Red Jet, my brother Sir Charles was dead opposed to Red Jet, simply on the grounds that Barbados did not have Category 1 status, and therefore, until the island got Category 1 status, the airline would never be able to fly into United States territories. And I believed government, and government said in writing that Grantley Adams would get Category 1 status. So it was wrong. They failed it. So Red Jet could not fly into the United States. And that was the most profitable planned route in the business plan. Barbados, Miami to Port-au-Prince, back to Miami in the evening, and back to Barbados. One jet.
What would you say is the greatest misconception that people have about you?
Misconception? I don't know what. Well, they think I'm greedy, I suppose. There are some people who judge me by the color of my skin and not by what I've done. And there are some people who just don't like white people, who believe that I was born with a gold spoon in my mouth and pampered all my life and all the rest of it. But it's not the reality. When I was born in Barbados, not far from here, my family didn't own a single square foot of land in Barbados. So what we have achieved, my brother and I, and my other siblings, is purely by effort. My biggest probably the most important thing is a willingness to share with the people who helped me to create what is created. We have a very unique, well, not very unique, it is a unique business system in Williams Industries. There's no other one like it. And it evolved over 25 years just by me coming up with ideas and running them around the board of directors and getting them approved and so on. And it is a system where we have it enshrined in our policy that 25% of all of the profit of the companies, all of the companies, must be shared by all of the people who help to create the profit. And more importantly, no more than 25% can be paid to the owners of the company in dividends. So the owners of the company can never earn more in dividends than the employees of the company receive in profit share. So 50% of all the profit that we earn in Williams Industries is set aside for growth and the creation of more job opportunities and hopefully more profit. That is why I'm always involved in new investments, looking for new opportunities, because that is a mandate. So that's it. And in addition to that, we came up with this idea. I noticed there that when I got into business and so on, the average worker never trusts management. You couldn't get them convinced that management or owners were telling the truth. I wanted the people to own a part of the company, to feel that they belong to them. But to get them to buy shares, they ain't doing that. So I came up with this idea of giving shares for long service. it was argued that you should really base it on the performance of the people. However, that is what is the word for it now? That is a judgment call. Shares for long service is precise.
Yeah.
There's no argument. There's no thing where I perform better than him, so I should have got them and not him. As long as you've been able to survive in Williams Industries for 10 years without getting raised with it, and very few people ever get raised with it. Very, very, very few people. Our staff turnover is almost nil. As long as you've been able to stay here for 10 years, I believe you deserve some shares in the company. Because if you have been able to stay here without performing, something is wrong with your manager, not you. So, and if that manager is able to stay, something wrong with his boss, and it leads to me. It's my fault. Good. So at 10 years, everybody who works with Williams Industries, companies, any of the companies, they get shares for long service. At 15 years, they get more shares, and it ramps up. At 20 years, another tranche of shares. 25 years, another tranche of shares. 30 years, another tranche of shares. So, based on the valuation of the shares of Williams Industries that was recently done by KPMG, of all of the companies, a person retiring from Williams Industries after 30 years could sell their shares if they wanted to for the price of a house, of a home, or they can keep them and continue receiving dividends and so on for as long as they live. At the end of their life, they should offer their shares back so that we can buy them back in the company and issue them to new people coming along. That's how it works.
Talking about new investments and your drive.
But hold on a minute. What is the bedrock reason for doing this scheme? Because this scheme is very expensive. Dave, I'll call you back in the middle of a meeting. Good, see ya. Yeah, this scheme is expensive.
Okay.
Because very often we issue between $500,000 and $1 million in shares every year. So it's not cheap. But what's the bedrock reason? The bedrock reason for me is this. Every owner will receive the annual report. Hopefully he or she would take it home and their children would have access to it, to have a look, to get the Barbadian psyche into ownership of business rather than working for, working with. Nobody works for me. As soon as I come through the door here and they tell me I want to work for you, I tell them, so forget it. Don't worry to even pass the door. If you want to work with me so that we can achieve, you can walk through the door, otherwise exit. So the idea here is that I am hoping, I don't know if it will be successful, that more people, more company owners and so on will move to this model so that by and large Barbadians will become owners of business and have an interest in how business works.